Well, hi guys, how y'all doing? It's Kyoko here. What's up, y'all? I'm not talking about Miss Brittany in this one. I'm talking about Mr. Yee. And Yee means I. You feel me? That's old English language. Ye shall be free. It's taken me a couple of days to make this video because it's been hard. It's been a hard thing to tackle. For one, we don't have Jewish people in Australia. So this whole black people, Jewish people thing is a big concept for me to even take in. I met one Jewish person in Australia my whole life, and he's from New York. Yeah, I know. He's not even an Aussie. Well, he is now. But all I'm saying is that we don't have this Jewish issue. And after reading this article that it's up on your screen right now, please pause it and read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's huge. It explained to me about why this divide has happened and why Kanye is saying the stuff that he says. I don't like just reacting off someone reacting. Like, Kanye says shit, people just react. I like to understand what they're trying to get across before I react. And even though he says things in a very, like, mania fashion and all of that, well, yeah, he's got bipolar, so of course he's going to be up and down. But it doesn't negate what he's actually saying. Just because someone has mental illness doesn't mean that what they're saying, it's not valid. And after reading this and seeing where his anger is coming from for the Jewish community is because, yeah, okay, Jewish people ran black people. I get it now. They run the music, they run Hollywood. I mean, I've always known they ran Hollywood because no one really wanted to make films. And in Hollywood, the Jewish people put their money up into the film industry, which was a very new industry. They didn't know if it was going to make money, but they did it. And look at them now. You look in the credits of every film you ever watch. It will have a Goldstein, Goldman, Bernstein. They're all there, man. I know that much. But the music industry, this is interesting. It says in this article, back in the day when there were black jazz musicians, no one wanted to represent them or be their managers. And the Jewish people were like, oh, well, we look white and people will respect us because, you know, there was the black and white divide back then. So the Jewish people were like, we'll run you. Shit, yeah. And that's why they are very big in the music industry, that they managed and ran a lot of the labels because they had the money. I understand now where Kanye's coming from. Like when he said, I'm going to go DEFCON 3 on the Jews tomorrow, I was like, oh, what Jewish dudes pissed him off? I didn't think he hated all the Jews. Like, why is everyone so extremist in their reactions to things? Like, he doesn't hate all the Jews. I just immediately thought, well, some Jewish guy probably owns all these masters. You know what I mean? Like Tay. And yeah, their contracts were dodgy and dirty. Let's just say that. They've ripped a lot of people off. And it's not just black people, but in the rap industry, well, most of them are Jewish people. Look at Leo Cohen. He is one of the biggest of all the Jewish people in the music industry. Leo Cohen, look him up. He spoke at DMX's funeral and said that weird mother effing stuff. I don't like the man. For a man to say, I really like Earl Simmons, because that's DMX's real name, but I always knew that DMX was going to run into a wall like a little gremlin. Like, what? What are you talking about, man? I understand what you mean. I understand the cryptic meaning you're saying there, that Earl Simmons was a great guy, DMX was a madman. I get it. But why'd you say that shit at his funeral? That was freaking weird, and it bugged me out. And from that day on, I'm like, this Leo Cohen, yeah, he's Warner Music. I don't like him. So if you've come to watch my video for me to show all the clips of Kanye losing it, it just ain't gonna happen because I love Kanye. I like his openness. I love his honesty. I love his rawness. And I think people seem to forget that when he is in a mania state, his words are going to be less, his filter's not going to be on as much as it would be when he's not in a mania state. Still doesn't mean what he's saying isn't valid. It just means that he's letting it rip a little bit more. You know what I mean? And I love that about him. But yeah, him saying that shit about George Floyd was the one thing that really upset me.
I watched the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary.
We all saw that freaking knee on his neck. We all saw what transpired. And I just think for a black man to say about another black man that was killed, knowing that America is... You guys have got a real problem with police and black people and white people and black... We don't have it so much here. So, I just don't know if Kanye should be saying shit like that, man. He's probably going to hate me because I'm saying Kanye, but he'll never watch my video, so I don't actually care. I will call him Kanye because Ye is a stupid name. Ye, I. Change your name to I. Just the letter I. Because that's what Ye means. Anyway, you shouldn't have said that about George. I'm just saying the court put that dirty copper in jail and all the rest happened and followed. And now the George Floyd family are suing for $250 million. And so many people do actually believe what Kanye says. Believe it or not, he's not saying anything I haven't heard before. Because the video I made about George Floyd, when it all went down, the amount of hate comments I got was off the charts. And it shook me a little because I was like, why are you guys hating on me? And it's all these freaking weirdos that's like, it's a psyop operation. He is not a real person. He's still alive. Like, all that shit just bamboozles my brain. And sometimes I think Kanye gets a little bit sucked into it. Sucker. And that's what upsets me because it's like, dude, you are one talented man, musician, entrepreneur, designer, all of that. When it comes to shit like this, just keep your gob shut. That's my only tip, because you're not helping anybody. You're truly not, because you're saying something so out of line that maybe 1% believe. Everyone's going to come down on you like a ton of bricks because you're Kanye West, man. And of course they're going to sue you for $250 million. You're worth he is worth $11 billion. $250 million's nothing, but except his ego. But the people he's going to hurt the most are the ones he loves. Because at this point, they can't hurt him financially. They really can't. Like, he's kind of untouchable. So he can say and do what he wants. But at the end of the day, the ones that he's going to hurt are the kids. His kids. They're going to lose respect. They're going to side with mum because mum doesn't act like that. Like, there's so many different ways you can view this. But I just view it as Kanye is a loving person. And he just shouldn't say shit like that. And sidebar, Kanye should never ever talk about his kids on social media. Just as I said about Britney saying that shit about her kids, I feel that Kanye should just, only if you got something good to say, that's it. Don't say anything dodgy about them or how they're going to be when they grow up or, they're getting influenced by this person and that person. That's like, dude, they're going to grow up and see that. So just like, man, if I could speak to Kanye and just say one thing, stop saying crazy, outrageous conspiracy shit like Alex Jones and don't say shit about your kids, man, ever. Unless it's something good. That's it. Full stop. I know you hate full stops, but full stop, full stop. You hear me? You heard? Saying that P. Diddy is an FAG, that's freaking hilarious. I didn't know P. Diddy was a homosexual? Did you? That's new to me. But maybe he was just bagging him out, calling him that. But, oh, man. Black men have a real deal problem with homosexuals. And I don't know why. That one I'm going to have to really look into because it kind of blows my mind. There's so many things that happen in America that I don't get because it doesn't happen in my world. That's why I have to research it so much. But as many of you would know, I adore Kanye. I really do. Do you too? Odie? Did you hear Odie? He said, I love Kanye too. Of course you do. Your name's Otis. Anyone called Otis is going to love Kanye. Just saying. Yee. I. His name is I West. I West. I'm not going to bag him out. I'm not going to make fun of him. This is why I said this video is not going to be funny like my Britney ones, because my Britney ones are funny. Is that right, Otis? It's usually Murphy, but there you go. Murphy loves Britney. Otis loves Kanye. Yeah, I'm not going to bag Kanye out because he's not doing or saying anything absolutely insane in the membrane other than that George Floyd shit. He loves free speech, and that's why he's apparently buying Parler the social network that the FBI watched nonstop because all the Capitol riots, they were all on Parler, blah, 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 blah. I just don't think Kanye should buy that because I know he thinks if I go over there, people will come. But I don't think they will. They'll just forget about you on social media because it's the big guns like Insta, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. They're all the ones that people go to. And people just don't have enough time in the day to go and search you up on Parler. And the big thing is that Parler is such a watched platform by police and FBI, ASIO, all of them, because so much nefarious shit's done on there. I just wouldn't be a part of it, Kanye. I'm just saying, man. That's my hot tip for you. Can you imagine if Kanye watches my videos? That would be freaking hilarious. Any rate, there's my little talk on Kanye. And anyone that doesn't know about Jewish people, read that article in full. You'll be informed just the way I was. But I tell you the funniest thing that's come out of all of this is that Trump said that Kanye's acting way too crazy and needs help. Now that is hilarious. In my opinion, the craziest man in America is Trump. To this date, he is. The shit that comes out his mouth is wow. There is no filter on ever. And I don't think he thinks many thoughts through. Hey, maybe Trump's bipolar. I've never even thought of that. Maybe he is. Because he just goes off the way Kanye does. Just flips his lid, says crazy shit, and then you don't think people are going to react? But I really do think people shouldn't react off Kanye as much as they do. Because we all know what he's like. He gets very excited. He gets very passionate. And he says things a lot of the times he doesn't mean. And I hope he comes back and says sorry to the Floyd family. At least he's out there and we know that he is posting everything and he is doing all the interviews. At least we know that. At least we know Kanye admits he's got bipolar and this is what happens when you got bipolar. You know what I mean? Don't react off someone that's in a moment. He's just having a moment. He's acting the opposite of lucid, saying all this crazy shit about Floyd. That's for show. All the other stuff about Jewish people, I've heard it all before. I've heard most rappers talk about that, believe it or not. But I just didn't know where the hatred came from in this. They own us. I just never realized until I really looked into it. And I'm glad I did. Quite interesting, actually. I'm going to love you and leave you. And remember, just take everything with a grain of salt with what Kanye says when he's absolutely saying crazy shit. Because I know he says he hates it when people say he's acting crazy. I don't think he is a crazy person, but I do think you can act crazy, and I am allowed to say that because where I come from, that word is still on the list. It hasn't been put on the PC list. Hey, nearly every second word in America has been put on the PC list. Just let me tell you, I understand why Kanye's always saying, we don't have freedom of speech anymore. Well, you're quite correct. And it truly, truly is mainly coming from America for some reason. And I don't know why. And I know a lot of my buddies that absolutely adore my channel and all of that. They just love how I talk. And I'm just talking like a normal Aussie. Like I'm not saying anything to not be PC. It's just that we're not that PC over here. I love you and I'm going to leave you. And I'll see you tomorrow. In this race. Remember to let the good vibes in and the bad vibes out. You feel me? You dig? Cheers, ballers. How it real? How it real? Feel so real. How it real? How it real? How it real? And that feels so real. How it real? How it real? Real. How it real? Feels so real. How it real? How it real? How it real? And that feels so real.